Weather picture from our school kids, free mall money, fashions for teens, and music from Ricky Skaggs.
It's one of the most dangerous corners of Iraq. Tonight, U.S. forces lead a major new offensive against the gunmen and the bombers. What to tell children about terror threats? New ads from Homeland Security have some suggestions. Are they a public service or just scary? Eye on America. Her druggist refused to sell her the pill because he opposes contraception. Should that be allowed? And we'll give you a look inside an amazing building where 2 centuries of American history is stored.
This is the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather reporting from CBS News headquarters in New York.
Good evening. A major new offensive is underway tonight in Iraq. U.S. and British troops are in action against guerrillas, terrorists, and bandits who've turned a region south of Baghdad into a killing zone. This is the 3rd major operation launched in Iraq this month, and the U.S. military reported today that American casualties have gone way up. Since November 1st, more than 100 U.S. troops have been killed, more than 1,000 wounded. And CBS's Kimberly Dozier reports there is more intense combat yet to come.
Now that American forces have almost finished fighting in Fallujah, some 5,000 U.S. and British troops are concentrating south of Baghdad in the so-called Triangle of Death. The new campaign is aimed at Sunni insurgents who've repeatedly launched attacks, like this one shown today on a militant website in which a devastating roadside bomb was detonated alongside U.S. troops. The area is described as a major hotbed of anti-coalition militant activity, including bomb-making and terrorist training. But the violence is also taking on an ethnic aspect. Some here already talking about a hidden civil war. The highway south through the triangle is the most direct route to the Shiite holy city of Najaf, and that has made it a hunting ground for Sunni gunmen, eager for what is said to be a $1,000 reward per Shiite worshiper killed. At least 2 prominent clerics have already been stopped on the road and executed. In Shiite neighborhoods across Iraq, they welcome the U.S. crackdown against armed Sunnis. This is not a resistance, it is terrorism, says this man, especially against the Shiites.
Top Shiite leaders say the Sunnis are resorting to violence against Shiites because they know they can't win a fair fight in the elections. Sunnis make up only 20% of Iraq's population, to the Shiites' estimated 60%.
Election registration is going without a hitch in Shiite parts of the country, after their supreme leader, Grand Ayatollah Sistani, said voting is as sacred as prayer. But in Sunni areas like Mosul, militants have burned registration forms and threatened election officials with death. 4 such officials have quit, and registration is falling far behind schedule. Insurgents are expected to intensify their efforts at stopping the vote, which they fear may leave them on the losing side once and for all. Kimberly Dozier, CBS News, Baghdad.
In this country, it looks likely that the Republican-controlled Congress will leave town for the holidays without making good on its promise to pass legislation overhauling U.S. intelligence. But as CBS's John Roberts reports, that's leaving plenty of time for officials to argue over who's to blame for blocking this bill. John?
Dan, the White House continued its talks with Republicans in Congress today, hoping to pass intelligence reform by year's end. But with everyone getting out of town for the holidays, they didn't make a whole lot of headway. And over at the Pentagon, Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld today denied charges that he privately campaigned to kill the reform bill.
As I say, I haven't been involved in it. I've been out of the country. But the president's position is evolving as the negotiation evolves. I'm a part of this administration. If I didn't want to support the president's position, I wouldn't be in the administration, and I do intend to support it.
The Joint Chiefs of Staff, on the other hand, aren't shy about voicing their concerns. They complain the bill could dilute the military's ability to get urgent intelligence to troops in the field. Chairman Richard Myers sent a letter to Congress saying he prefers an earlier version of the bill that maintains this vital flow of resources through the Secretary of Defense to the combat support agencies.
That is the same argument that Congressman Duncan Hunter made in blocking the bill, a position he says he's not about to back away from. Dan?
John, the president says he wants the bill to pass, but in the meantime, is he or is he not doing something else to, quote, reform intelligence?
Well, Dan, the president has directed the CIA and the FBI to implement some reforms that were developed this past fall with a look ahead to strengthening their intelligence gathering capabilities. More agents and analysts, more human intelligence, more language specialists, better sharing of information. And the president also wants the CIA to look into whether or not covert military operations should be handed over to the Pentagon. But all of those reforms contained in these memos still fall far short of what the president is looking for from Congress. Dan?
John Roberts reporting live from the White House. Thanks. A dangerous political crisis is building tonight in Eastern Europe over a disputed presidential election in the former Soviet Republic of Ukraine. Today, the White House cited, quote, extensive and credible indications of election fraud, and with huge crowds of angry protesters in the streets of Kiev, Ukraine's outgoing president called for negotiations to head off conflict. CBS's Richard Roth has the latest.
For 2 days, his supporters have filled Independence Square in Ukraine's capital, Kiev, and tonight Viktor Yushchenko led them to a standoff at the presidential palace, ringed by security troops. A reformist politician favored by the West, Yushchenko claims he won Sunday's presidential election, and the streets prove it. By official count, though, the vote went to Prime Minister Viktor Yanukovych, who's backed by Moscow, which has powerful interests keeping Ukraine in Russia's orbit. But the contest was rigged, according to Western monitors, including Washington's Election Day Observer.
A concerted and forceful program of election day fraud and abuse was enacted with either the leadership or cooperation of governmental authorities.
And it was a bitter campaign, Yushchenko even charging his opponents had tried to kill him with poison. 6 months ago, he looked like this before a suspicious illness. Now his face is scarred. The government claims he may have eaten bad sushi. Today, with support pouring in from European governments and supporters filling the streets, Yushchenko swore himself in as president, just a symbolic gesture, but accompanied by a warning that Ukraine is on the threshold of civil war. Despite the echoes here of Eastern Europe's velvet revolutions, the people power protests that brought down governments in Czechoslovakia and Georgia, Ukraine, it's feared, is different, more an echo of Cold War conflict. A huge country on the frontier between Europe and Russia, and deeply divided. Richard Roth, CBS News, London.
The U.S. Department of Homeland Security has just launched a new ad campaign aimed at parents. The subject, what to tell children about terrorism. Is this public ad campaign a good idea or not? CBS's Bob Orr shows you the ads and reports the pluses and minuses.
There are no horrifying images, just young faces. No frightening threats, only questions.
Mom, if I'm at soccer practice, what if something happens? Will you come get me?
There's no reason not to have a plan in case of a terrorist attack.
The ad, just one of 3 released by the Department of Homeland Security, is the latest attempt by the government to focus people's attention on the reality of terrorism. Since 9/11, the public has watched highway checkpoints multiply, airport security lines grow, and the terror color code bounce up and down. But in the barrage of in-your-face terror messages, officials worry people have failed to make simple emergency plans for their own families.
Mom, shouldn't we pick a place to meet?
The new spots are aimed at jump-starting home preparations.
There's some things that you can do that may save your life, or it will certainly put you and your family in a better position should something happen.
The ads direct people to the Homeland Security website, where there's an emergency planning kit.
The phone doesn't work.
While there are critics who warn the new ads could traumatize children and make them more afraid than necessary, the spots are aimed at adults, not children. And child psychiatrist Dr. Paramjit Joshi, who studied the effects of terrorism on children, says the ads are a wonderful idea.
I think it helps parents to face the issues that we are facing. And these are questions children are going to ask anyway.
Officials concede past attempts to get the public's attention have not been well executed. Most of us remember duct tape. But research suggests the new ads will connect, and the kids' questions might be hard to ignore. Bob Orr, CBS News, Washington.
The government now says it was a false alarm. Definitive tests indicate a cow suspected of having mad cow disease did not. It would have been the second case in this country. The animal was never in the food supply, so consumers were never at risk. But this is good news for U.S. cattle industry people. They feared other countries might embargo American beef. Congress is putting new pressure on the FDA to protect Americans from dangerous drugs. Republican Senator Charles Grassley of Iowa is now backing calls for an independent panel to review drug safety. Also today, the FDA itself ordered new steps to monitor women of childbearing age who take Accutane. The prescription acne medicine is linked to serious birth defects. Coming up next here on the CBS Evening News, finding new soldiers. It's getting harder and harder for recruiters. How bad is it? We'll give you the inside story. Then later, her pharmacist refused to fill a prescription on moral grounds. The pharmacist says he would have done the same. Eye on America investigates. But first, CBS News honors fallen heroes. Seth Devoren is remembered as a real leader, first to praise you when you did well, first to help you when you needed guidance. Devoren liked golf, radio, helicopters, and cars, but the love of his life was Kelly, his college sweetheart. Just 5 months after they wed, Devoren was killed in Iraq by a homemade bomb.
Just how far can $30 go? If it's a gift from LL Bean, miles and miles, even years and years. Only LL Bean can bring you gifts this well made for $30 or less. Because the best values come direct from Freeport, Maine. Call or shop llbean.com.
I wish I had a kid's metabolism, but I don't. So now I eat smarter, exercise more, and I found One-A-Day Weight Smart.
One-A-Day Weight Smart, the first multivitamin with EGCG to enhance your metabolism while you manage your weight.
Now that's smart.
One-A-Day Weight Smart.
Heartburn on rye.
That's more than heartburn. That pressure and bloating is gas.
And we don't treat gas.
I do. Fast heartburn plus gas relief. That's Maalox Max.
Thanks, Max.
Maalox Max. When you have it all, treat it all.
Experience a deep cleaning unlike any other. It's the Sonicare difference. With patented sonic technology, it reaches deep between teeth and along the gum line. No wonder it's the most used and recommended by dental professionals. Stop brushing. Start Sonicare.
Introducing the new 320 horsepower V8 Cadillac STS. Let's dance. Breakthrough.
It's time.
Let's go! Awesome! Come on, come on!
I'm coming!
The one-day sale is here. Come in this Friday and save at Ace, the helpful place.
With nearly 140,000 U.S. military personnel in Iraq and casualties rising, some military officials worry that signing up new recruits may become more difficult. The regular duty services all met or exceeded recruiting quotas for the last year, but not the Army National Guard. CBS's Mika Brzezinski gives you the inside story.
We're concluded, and I'll be talking to you next week.
23-year-old Claudia Duarte is a mother of two.
You're welcome.
And now a soldier. What's your status at this point?
I have just enlisted, so I'm definitely a new recruit.
Words recruiters like Sergeant Daniel Floyd need to hear more often. For the second year in a row, the Army National Guard has failed to meet its sign-up goal, falling almost 7,000 recruits short of its target. How would you describe the marketplace?
The marketplace today, has changed. We can't deny that.
With 40% of the ground force in Iraq coming from the Guard and Reserve, citizen soldiers are more essential than ever. Now the Guard is offering fatter cash bonuses, full scholarships, and adding 1,400 new recruiters, a 50% increase to go to high schools, colleges.
I think you're going to make a great soldier.
Anywhere they may be able to bring in new soldiers.
It's a difficult recruiting atmosphere. I have to be honest and tell you that.
Lieutenant General Stephen Blum is watching the numbers closely.
Might we have a supply problem when it comes to deployable units in the coming months?
On the short term, probably so. We've kind of deployed the low-hanging fruit, and each deployment that we do now becomes more difficult.
But with new recruiting incentives,
and I'm very confident that we'll recover probably in 6 months.
Still, defense analyst Lauren Thompson says a critical shortage of citizen soldiers is in the works.
If we keep sending our reserves to Iraq for 12 months at a time, there's no way we're going to avoid a major recruitment crisis.
An act of war has been committed on this country.
And though today's campaign is more upfront about the call to service, Thompson says joining the Guard is a harder sell than ever before.
Basically, in return for middle-class pay and benefits, there's a chance you could lose your life.
A possibility that is not lost on Claudia Duarte, who left her 2 girls with family while she's at basic training.
They're young. Tell them that I love them and this is for our future.
And you'll do it.
Mika Brzezinski, CBS News, Washington.
A few words now about the CBS Evening News and your reporter. After nearly a quarter of a century as the anchor of this broadcast, I've decided it's time to move on. I'll be leaving the Evening News next March. I will not be leaving CBS News, however. I will continue to report to you, working full-time on both editions of 60 Minutes and on other assignments for CBS News. It has been and remains an honor to be welcomed into your home each evening, and I thank you for the trust you've given me. In the meantime, there's news to report, and we'll have more of it in a moment.
We're out of water. That means I can't mix my fiber drink or take fiber pills.
No problem. Try new Benefiber Chewables. Tasty orange cream. No water needed.
We're saved!
New Benefiber Chewables makes taking fiber easier. Cholesterol. It comes grilled, fried, slow cooked, twice baked, poached, and pureed. But it also comes from Mom, Dad, Grandma Ethel, and Grandpa Sam. Your cholesterol doesn't just come from food. It also has a lot to do with family history. Today, there's Vytorin. When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Vytorin can help. Vytorin is a new product that treats the 2 sources of cholesterol. Cholesterol from food and the cholesterol your body makes naturally based on family history. Vytorin lowers bad cholesterol 45 to 60%. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Unexplained muscle pain or weakness could be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Vytorin may interact with other medicines or certain foods, increasing your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Ask your doctor about new Vytorin. Your cholesterol comes from 2 sources. Treat them both with Vytorin.
We're in this experimental phase.
He is.
Come on, we like the same things. Biscuits?
Dinner rolls?
Dinner rolls.
Pillsbury frozen rolls and biscuits. You make as many as you want, when you want.
But there's only so much experimentation I can take. At least at the dinner table.
Also try Pillsbury's low-fat, cholesterol-free dinner rolls.
You know about Allegra, but you're about to see something you may never have seen before. Allegra D. Ask your doctor about Allegra D. You need to know about it.
Whoa. Honey. What do you think it means?
Means we're going to Big Lots.
Big Lots is open Thanksgiving Day from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and you can get a 6-foot pre-lit spiral tree just $7.99. These leather recliners are closeout priced at just $99.99 each. And Muscle Machines die-cast cars are closeout priced at just $9.99 each. Plus, the first 100 families through the door receive a free Westclox wall clock. Big Lots, brand names, closeout prices, happy holidays.
This year's election showed this to be a nation divided on a variety of issues, including religion and moral values. But a CBS News New York Times poll out tonight finds strong unity on this question. Should a pharmacist who opposes contraception be allowed to deny a woman the pill? Nearly 4 out of 5 Americans say no. Still, some pharmacists are doing just that, as CBS's Byron Pitts reports in tonight's Eye on America.
Here. After Adelia and Jose Moran's son, Joel, was born by C-section, Adelia's doctor advised her not to get pregnant again for 2 to 3 years and prescribed the pill. But when she went to the pharmacy, the cashier said,
I can refill them because the pharmacist says that it's against his religion, because it's for abortion.
Adelia says she was stunned and ashamed.
I felt really bad because I thought maybe these are for abortion.
Across the country, more and more pharmacists are refusing to fill prescriptions for religious reasons. South Dakota, Arkansas, and Mississippi even have refusal clauses on the books. And 13 states are considering mixing medicine and morality.
Lord God, we thank you for bringing us to this beautiful day.
At Lloyd's Pharmacy in Gray, Louisiana, Lloyd Duplantis believes in prayer.
And God bless the great state of Louisiana, the parish of Terrebonne and Lafourche. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
And he believes birth control is tantamount to abortion.
Don't worry about the mule, just load the wagon. I don't sell condoms, I don't sell foams, I don't sell creams, I don't sell anything having to do with contraception.
What happens if a young woman walks through your door, a victim of incest, been raped, and her doctor prescribed a day after pill?
I would tell her that I can't prescribe this.
You have the right to make a moral choice, but you have a responsibility as a pharmacist to do your job.
That's right. And that's what I'm doing. That's science supporting my moral decisions.
It's a very ominous trend.
Gloria Felt, president of Planned Parenthood and author of The War on Choice, believes the surge in these cases is as much about politics as it is religion.
I think the anti-choice right extremists have become emboldened by the current administration in Washington, and they feel they are in the political ascendancy.
Lloyd Duplantis says he's no extremist, just a Christian businessman.
I want everyone to have a freedom of choice to help them and achieve what they want.
Who in his pharmacy advocates natural family planning. He convinced Stephanie Malassa, so she no longer takes birth control pills because of what Duplantis told her about side effects.
And now it's working for me.
As for Adelia Moran, she eventually got her birth control pills but had to drive 30 miles to a different pharmacist. It's one debate that will not be put to rest quietly. In El Paso, Texas, Byron Pitts for Eye on America.
Tomorrow night, a nation divided over the right to die. Her dying mother took her life with the help of a doctor in the only state where that's legal, but now that law is being challenged. The suspect in a shooting Sunday in rural Wisconsin that killed 6 deer hunters and wounded 2 others told investigators one of the victims fired the first shot. Laotian immigrant Chai Vang of St. Paul, Minnesota, has not yet been charged in the case, but a judge today ordered him held on $2.5 million bail. Still to come on the CBS Evening News, saved for posterity. The National Archives, storehouse for 2 centuries of American memories. They've dusted off some rare artifacts, and we'll give you a look next.
There is no safe cigarette. Light and ultralight cigarettes are no exception. To reduce the health effects of smoking, the best thing to do is to quit. At philipmorrisusa.com, you can find this and other information on the serious health effects of smoking, along with links to sites that can help smokers quit. For more, call or visit philipmorrisusa.com.
All the smiles, all the enchantment. Now everything you bake can have all the goodness with half the sugar. Introducing Splenda Sugar Blend for baking. It's part Splenda and part sugar, so cakes are moist, cookies chewy, pastries sweet and flaky. See? You can have it all, and with half the sugar. New Splenda Sugar Blend for baking. Part Splenda, part sugar, pure magic.
I'm a 27-year-old woman with a security blanket. But My grandmother made it for me, which makes it one of my most treasured possessions. I believe that humor is a necessity in all relationships. I like to treat myself to a manicure. It's nice to be girly sometimes. I have a Discover card. I eat peanut butter out of the jar. I help put my husband through dental school. And now I get my teeth cleaned for free.
This is our card, the Discover card.
Hey, girl. So what'd the doctor say? Not what I expected. No? Oh, when I told him my arthritis has really been bothering me lately, I thought he'd give me a prescription. He didn't? No. He said I should try Aleve. Is that better than what you've been taking? He said nothing's better than Aleve.
Aleve can provide all-day arthritis pain relief with fewer pills than Tylenol.
Just calling to see how you're doing. Oh, even better than I expected.
Aleve, prescription strength relief without a prescription.
From the very beginning, Smart Balance buttery spreads have contained no trans fatty acids and no hydrogenated oil. Trans fat can raise LDL bad cholesterol and lower HDL good cholesterol. Just the opposite of Smart Balance, which has the right balance of fats to help improve cholesterol. Smart Balance buttery spreads taste great without the cholesterol in butter or trans fat that's in margarine. It's that simple. Smart Balance buttery spreads. We have the right balance and the great.
New security measures at Nashville International Airport will tell you what you need to know if you're traveling by air this holiday season tonight at 6.
Did you know it's possible to go back in time, back through more than 2 centuries of American history? You don't need a time machine to do it. No, as CBS's Jim Stewart reports, all it takes is a trip to the National Archives.
If America has an attic, this is it. The place where we keep all those old records from the mundane to the memorable.
We have everything from U.S. District Court investigation of the Titanic to Watergate.
This tells you about the danger of icebergs. Right. Somebody should have read that.
That's correct.
There was a cancer growing on the presidency.
If it was worth saving, this is where it's at now, in a new National Archives exhibit just opened called the Public Vaults. You can still see the Constitution, of course, but this is where they keep the really good stuff. Here's the actual telegram announcing the surrender of Fort Sumter, the immigration papers of Albert Einstein and Alfred Hitchcock. That's Lee Harvey Oswald's original mugshot. Here's the classic White House photo of Richard Nixon with Elvis.
This looks familiar. What's
yes. This is a Zapruder camera from the Warren Commission investigation.
The actual camera.
Who can forget the scene it captured that long ago day in Dallas? Want to hear the voice of Rough Rider Teddy Roosevelt? They've got it on a wax recording.
We stand for the rights of the people.
There's presidential boyhood film, ranging from a shy Lyndon Johnson to lifeguard Ronald Reagan. Plus, there's presidential humor.
And I'm president of the United States, and I'm not going to eat any more broccoli.
And presidential arrogance, Nixon on Watergate.
This involves the Cubans and a lot of hanky-panky that we have nothing to do with ourselves.
A big hit are old recruiting films.
Be a weekend warrior.
But most of all, it's that sense of shared history, old times and our times, carefully preserved and now laid out to be marveled at all over again. Jim Stewart, CBS News, Washington.
And that's part of our world. We thank you for joining us tonight and invite you back tomorrow for the CBS Evening News. Dan Rather reporting. Good night.
For news 24 hours a day, click on cbsnews.com. Brought to you in part by Walmart. Good jobs, good people, great opportunities. Come grow with us at Walmart. Doctor-assisted suicide. Why your government wants to stop it. Tomorrow. Experience CBS News.
Straight ahead on News Channel 5 at 6, thousands of people will be heading to the airport for that Thanksgiving holiday trip. New security measures are in place that you need to know about.
And dozens of people have died on the roadways in Montgomery County. Straight ahead, what officers are doing to keep residents safe.
And before you head out to your holiday shopping, the list of toys you need to avoid.
The news is now.
From your news and information leader. This is News Channel 5 at 6.
Good evening. Tomorrow is expected to be the busiest travel day of the year.
And if you plan on traveling through the Nashville International Airport, you'll want to get to the airport even earlier than you normally do. New security measures have been put into place to keep travelers safe. As News Channel 5's Scott Arnold explains, it's going to take you longer to get through those security checkpoints.
Home for the holidays, passengers like Donna Mandel getting used to new security measures.
I have been patted down in Europe. They do it a lot.
An electronic wand, now not enough. Screeners are patting down more and more passengers.
Armpits down.